The people you love, they quietly shape the person you're becoming every single day. And, like, the interactions you have with those people and the moments that you spend together and the lessons you learn from maybe sometimes you treated them poorly or something of that nature, you know, it really shapes who you become. And in the way that they speak to you, you can kind of learn how to speak to yourself. A lot of us are kind of mean to ourselves. And it would be nice to just, like, if we were more kind to ourselves and we treated ourselves, with more respect and more love and really cherished ourselves as much as we cherish other people. In the way that they love you, you can learn how to love others. You can take examples of how the best people in your life have treated you and kind of use that for other things and use that for how you end up treating other people and how you treat yourself as well. Their presence becomes a part of your identity. Our family, our friends, and stuff like that, they are a part of us, and we are all connected. In one of my last videos, I was talking about how we are all part of the world and we're all part of the earth and we're one with the earth. And, when it all goes full circle at the end of the day, we become one with the earth again and one with the trees, one with the sky, one with the universe. We return to Earth, and fingers crossed, we get to reunite with loved ones that have gone on to the next life. That would be very cool. Um, but the words of, like, people that you love, they echo in your mind long after they're gone. The way they support you, it teaches you how to stand strong. Even the flaws that other people might have, or the flaws that you might have, can teach you lessons that you carry forward into your life. And, one good thing to do, and something you kind of naturally do, I think, is you begin to reflect the energy that those people give you. And you begin to reflect on the vibes that you've received. And, it kind of all goes back to the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. And when other people treat you good, you can learn how to treat others with respect and to treat other people with dignity and kindness. Um, the people closest to you, they influence your thoughts more than you realize. So, pay attention to that and, keep the best people that you have around you and keep the people you love around you. And, yeah, they shape your habits, they shape your mindset and your beliefs. The people that you surround yourself with, they always tell you, you become who you hang around. So keep the people that you have in your life, the people that you love the most, keep them in your life and keep them close. Um, and the encouragement that you receive from the people around you, it becomes your confidence. So many times, my mom would be like, "Oh, you can do this. You got this." Whether it would be singing a song or, she would tell me I'm getting better at singing or I'm getting better at content creation or something of that nature. And it really boosted my confidence when my mom or any other family members would, or even people that comment online. It really boosts my confidence. So the people that you have in your life, whether it's your fans, whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, um, but another thing to kind of watch out for is the doubts of other people can become your fears if you let them. Like when I was back before I accepted that, a few thousand views a month would be awesome on YouTube, and like kind of just saw that as a form of success. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to get rich and famous." And my mom's like, "Dude, probably not." And I let that become one of my fears for a while, but then, I kind of retargeted my outlook on that. And yeah, I retargeted and decided that, instead of letting that become my fears, I let that become a reason to retarget how I receive what I do and how I look at it. Um, you pick up pieces of who they are, the people around you, without even noticing. Um, I like one thing I noticed is like my brother. He says "yeah," and I hang out with him a good bit, or I'll play games with him. We've spent a lot of time together over the years, and I started going "yeah." So when someone says something to me, I just go "yeah," and that's because I spent time around my brother. But that the people's love, it becomes your foundation, and the time you spend together builds the person you're becoming. Um, and the time you have with family, it shapes who you become and who you are as a person. Their laughter becomes your comfort. Their struggles teach you resilience. Their strength reminds you to keep going. You know, a lot of people will tell you, just keep swimming, just like Dory in Finding Nemo. And that is the absolute truth. And when you look at other people and like the way they treat others, it becomes your example. So, you know, pay attention to what other people are doing, and, you know, use that as a lesson of what to do or what not to do depending on how they treat others. But yeah, you see, another thing is like when you grow up, you monkey see, monkey do. If your parents are mean to everyone, you might become kind of mean. But as you get older, you can kind of look at that as an example and be like, okay, I don't want to be mean to people. I don't want to treat people poorly. I want to treat people with kindness. And you learn kindness kind of just by being around it. The more people are kind to you, the more you're going to be kind to others. It's just how that works. You learn patience by witnessing it. You learn strength by leaning on it. And the people you love help define your values. You know, they influence what matters the most to you. Their presence also is going to shape your perspective on life. You know, if you're around someone that's doom and gloom all the time, then you're going to also think, oh, everything's doom and gloom. But if you surround yourself with people that you love that are looking at everything in a positive mindset, then, you know, you'll start to have a similar kind of outlook on life. You start to see the world through shared experiences. And, you know, when you're looking at, like, say when I was looking at hot air balloons, you know, we had a shared experience there. And that's just really important to kind of maintain the knowledge that you do see the world through shared experiences. We all do at some point. Not all the time, obviously, but, you know, a good bit of time. Their memories become a part of your story. So, you know, like, the memories that you have with people, your family, your friends, acquaintances, fans of your projects, whether you're a painter, whether you like to draw, whether you like to make video games, you know, like the memories that you have with all of those people are going to be a huge part of your story. The moments you share are going to leave lasting marks on your soul. And even small interactions kind of shape who you are as a person. The love you receive becomes the love you give. And sorry if this is like a bunch of quotes. I just jotted down some bullet points to kind of help me stay structured, but I think you can really find value in this video. And I hope that it helps some of you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for this video. I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you for making this such a fun experience, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.